Hey guys, Richie here from RD Hobbies. Welcome back to the latest installment of ICM's 48 scale B-26B Marauder. Now, last week we did decals. This time we're going to do weathering. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so carrying on exactly where we left it last week. So decals are on, and we're going to do weathering. Now, I really like the finish way it looks. I just don't want to risk putting washes straight down on these decals. I'm worried, when I rub the wash off, it's going to take the decals with it, and that would be a terrible thing because I worked so hard on this. So I'm going to seal it all in, give everything a coat. Now, not sure exactly. I'm kind of conflicted about different things. So what I'm going to think the best way of doing this is I'm going to start with the underside of the wing right here, just to try a few products out, see how it looks, and then if it goes terribly bad, you're not going to see it. So that's my game plan at least. So I'm just going to spray this section of wing here. I'm going to try AK satin. Now I like to use acrylic clear coats in between because I use lacquer and oil for washing. So for weathering washes and various things. So I like to use different mediums. So I use acrylics. This Gen 3 stuff's pretty good. Just mix it with the thinner it comes with, about 50-50, and satin. So again, I'm just going to do this little section right here, and we'll just see the finished look, and then we can kind of use that as a test bed. And if that looks good, we can kind of continue on the rest of the aircraft. Okay, so it's been a couple of hours, and this has dried, the old satin varnish. So I painted this section, and actually it doesn't look too different actually to the main paint. So quite happy with that. Now, as you can notice, we have had a little mishap there, and bites me every time. I guess I'm kind of lazy. I never put the top on a color cup, and some Tamiya airbrush cleaner sprayed out onto the model. So here's a tip I've learned over the years. When this stuff happens, just leave it, walk away, don't try to fix it or dab it or anything. And that's what I did. Left it to dry. I'm just going to sand it back with a very fine sanding sponge and just respray it. Now, I got lucky because it's on a nice flat surface away from any camo or any decals, anything like that. So once I sand it back and paint it, you'll never know. So got lucky in some respect, but yeah, it always kind of comes back to bite me. So next up, we're going to add a wash. Now, again, this is my little sample area. I always do dark dirt, which is a nice grimy kind of color. This is Flory Models. A clay wash, just brush it on, and then we're going to rub it off once it dries. But I do like black with silver. So I'm gonna give it might be too stark, but I'm gonna give it a little go with this black just in this little area here, test to see how it looks. And yeah, I'm just nervous it might make it a little bit kind of Japanese anime-ish kind of thing, but who knows? So the good thing about this is we can wash it off, or if I don't like the black, I can just go on top of it with the dark dirt. And there we go. So give it a shake. And just a little bit. And again, I'm a little nervous about this one, if it's going to be too dark or not. So I'm just going to get my brush, and we'll do a little area. It's very thick, so I think it does need a little water to water this down a little bit if I was going to do more. But that's this little area. And let's go across the lines here and just see, kind of get an idea of how it's going to look. And again, it's very thick because I don't use black often, but it definitely needs watering down, I would say, if I was going to do the rest of the aircraft. But I don't have any water with me right now. So I'm going to let that dry for about 20 minutes, and then we'll come back with some paper towel and just kind of wipe it off. In the meantime, I'm going to multitask. I'm going to stand that back and quickly touch it up, the tail here. Okay, so it's dry. It's been about 20 minutes. Take a paper towel. I'm just going to lick it. The reason I lick it is that the little moisture helps get it off a little bit easier. And again, this is a little bit thick. I would traditionally add some water. I did add some water to the bottle here. Now, I've had this probably about 3 years, if not longer, and just sat. It's not a color I use, and just sat there. It does, even though it's a silk bottle, it does kind of thicken up. So it should come off again, no problem. And just need to take a little bit extra paper towels. So it's on super thick, as I mentioned, but I'm just going to get this stuff off. And you can see now as it's coming off, that beautiful detail underneath. And it did take a few minutes here to rivet it too. And you can see all that nice detail coming through. Now you see I'm changing, as again it's on so thick, I am changing to the clean piece of paper as the other one gets kind of filled up. And I'm quite happy with that. So I'm thinking I'm going to use that for the whole aircraft. So catch this in the light right way. See how that looks? When I say that, I mean this bit right here compared to the other wing, which I'll show you in a minute. So wash, no wash, no wash, wash. So I think that is a win. So I'm going to continue with this. I like it. So I'm going to add a little bit more to this area here because that's the bit we sprayed, and then I'm going to clear coat the whole aircraft now in the satin. Now we've done a little sample. I'm happy with it. Did a whole thing with this, and then start basically weathering the whole aircraft. Pick up the rum bottle in black, section at a time, and yeah, we'll see how it looks. So I'll check back in a wee while. Okay, so hard at it, getting all this wash on and off, and it's grumming it up nicely. See, I'm just working on that last wing, and I didn't do the top of this wing because I kind of want to show the difference again. So the right wing, we have the wash. Let me figure out how to hold this thing. Let's do it here. So right wing, you have the wash. You can see the rivets and the pound lines. Left wing, nothing. So again, you can see the difference. So it definitely picks out the detail nicely. And looking here, some of these don't quite go all the way across. Actually, they do. Okay, yeah, they do. I'm just going to add a little bit more in the middle here. If not, just rescribe and go again. But yeah, so looking good. I'm just going to do this final wing, get all of it off, and see where we go from there. But you can see like yellow, for example. See how you see the pound lines and stuff. It really picks it out, blends it all in, and looking good. I'm glad it went black, to be honest with you. So yeah, I'm going to do this last wing, get it all off, and we'll come back and talk about the next stage of weathering. The wash has been applied and removed from the whole aircraft, and as you can see, looking pretty good. It's kind of subtle, so it's not massive in your face or anything. And now we're going to move to the next stage of weathering, which would be neat oils. Now, same as I do all my models, pretty much. Starship Filth, which is Abteilung oil, 510 is the number. Good quality oil paint, and I've had this tube for about 5 years, and you can see we barely use any, so it's going to last a while. So I put a little bit of plastic tub here, and just going to take a. Actually, I'm going to add a drop of enamel thinners because mine's kind of dry, so I'm kind of making it a little bit wetter. So just literally one drop. Come on. There we go. And get my brush. Make it a little bit wetter. And actually, I remember I tried a different way. So I can take a micro brush, actually. And I'm just going to dip it in here. I'm going to basically follow a pan line. Now I want to go 2 bananas with this oil. But then you see here, I'm just putting like dots down a line. And then with this brush, I'm just going to basically blend it in. And it's very subtly going to add some more dimension to some of these lines. So I'm not going to do every single line. I'm just going to pick some out. A little bit more oil this time. I think I didn't put enough on last time. Here we go. Now, normally before I do the oils, I would put a flat coat down on the aircraft. That would be my final clear coat, flat coat, add the oils, and we're done. But being the metal finish, I like kind of the shine on this. I think it's perfect with the satin finish. Now, if I turn the light off quick, this is natural daylight, and I think for me it looks really happy how it looks, the finish. So I don't want to add a flat coat, so we're adding straight onto the satin coat. So it's going to come off a little bit easier. But you can see there already, this pound line, maybe you can't, but let me turn the light off. I think maybe natural light can see it better. And you can see along there how we've done that. and add a little bit of oil. Now, the beauty of this is if you have to go too crazy, a little bit of enamel thinners, the whole thing will wipe off. So I'm just going to go ahead and add, again, some lines here. I'm going to pick out certain panel lines and just go with a direction line. Oh, brush upside down. And we'll pick this guy out. Go across there too. And again, just going to blend it in. Like that. And hopefully you can see the difference there between the one I've just done to the other wing. Again, let me turn the light off so you can see natural light. It just adds a little bit extra in there. And that is pretty much it. I don't want to bore you with me doing the whole aircraft, but I'll turn the camera off, work around, do the rest of the aircraft, and then you can kind of see the finished result once I'm done. Now, top tip too is the oil we got left over, just add enamel thinner, make it like a thin translucent wash, and then you can add that to all the wheel wells as a liquid wash, which we'll do later on. But yeah, let me go ahead and start carry on, should I say, with the rest of this aircraft, and I'll be right back. So I've spent about 20 minutes there just going around, and I turned the light off so you get better look, more natural light. So all over, just picking out certain panel lines, not every panel line, and I hope you agree, but it looks a lot better, I think. It just, again, add some griminess to it. Now it'll mellow down as it dries overnight here, but definitely like how we're looking. So I kind of alluded this to earlier, so let me show you what you could do with the wasted, well, it's no waste, but the oil we have left here. I'm just going to take some enamel thinner. Let me put the light back on here. Mix it up, and you can see how we have that, like, oh, spilling it. You can see on here how it's like translucent. That's kind of, you don't want it too thick. That's kind of the color you want. So what you can do with this then is just take it and just dab it all over the wheel wells. And this is your wash. Now I normally do this at one time once I have the gear in, but you can see we just go ahead and do this right now. And what it's going to do when it dries back, it's just going to pick out all that detail. And I'm sorry the camera's going to be all crazy focusing in and out right now because of my hand, but I just want to show you that, hey, we're not wasting the oil here. All this is going to be used. And obviously you need a lot more to do all the Bombay and stuff, but it gives you an idea of what we got going on. We go. Light off again. So yeah, so I'm gonna let this dry overnight, mellow out, see how we look, and you can add more colors of oils and stuff. I don't go too bananas with this, but maybe a bit of oil for like, a little bit of orange for like hydraulic spills and leaks and that kind of stuff. But let me just let this mellow out overnight, and we'll come back and we'll kind of see how we're looking and go from there. It's the following morning, and I've come out to take a look at this, and I'm actually happy how it looks. It's subtle and not over weathered, and yeah, it's kind of what I'm looking for. Now, one thing I've noticed with these decals, the oils, by the wash actually. So when I put a wash on it, it kind of sticks to the decal, even though I give it a clear coat. But anyway, so happy how it's looking. I think it looks pretty good. I'm going to turn the light off again so you can see it in natural light. Don't let it focus. And yeah, just the finish and everything about it, I think is where I want to stop here. So that means obviously we're going to stop the video. Next week we'll be back and we will wrap it up. Like next week will be the final part. So we got all the little sub-assemblies we built throughout the build, like the nose and the turret, the gear, all that we put together, and I'll do the final reveal next week. So have a great week, and I'll see you on Friday. Bye.